What is going on, YouTube? My name is West and I'm here with Highscore headquarters, and today we're going to be playing a little bit of Pokémon Insurgence. Now, for those of you that don't know, Pokémon Insurgence is a fan-made game for fans by fans that features a lot of different elements we've always wanted in Pokemon games but have never been given. One of them being a definite darker storyline where Pokemon and people actually die. So if you're not wanting that kind of violence or graphic nature in a Pokemon game, this won't be the game for you. But if you do, like I always have, then this is definitely the game you want to check out. I'm going to be doing a Delta Lock of the game, which is kind of a Nuzlocke tailored to the specific variations of this game's gameplay. Now, for those of you that are kind of new or may need a refresher course, a Nuzlocke is a way to play through a Pokemon game with three very specific rules. The first one is that you have to name every Pokemon you catch to help strengthen the bond between the player and the Pokemon. The second is that every time a Pokemon faints, it is considered dead and has to be either boxed or released out into the wild and cannot be used for the rest of that playthrough. The third is that every time you go into a new route, you can only catch the first Pokemon you see in that route. So if I go on Route 1 and I encounter a Rattata, I can only catch that Rattata for the rest of Route 1. If I see like a Diglett or something later in Route 1, I can't catch it. I can only get that Rattata. On Route 2, if I encounter a Pidgey, then I can capture that Pidgey, but I can only catch the first Pokemon I encounter per route. Now, these rules don't start applying until you can actually catch your first Pokemon. So in Gen 1, where you have to go deliver something for Professor Oak, those Pokemon you encounter wouldn't count until you can actually catch them. So as soon as you get your first Pokeballs, that's when the Nuzlocke rules start. Now for this game, I want to do what's known as a Delta Lock, which is the Nuzlocke with a couple different rules to help suit it for this game. Now in this game, there are things called Delta Pokemon, which are regular Pokemon with different color palettes and different types that are normally found in the wild. Now there are 14 different species of Delta Pokemon in this game. I am going to play through normal Nuzlocke rules until I encounter the first Delta Pokemon. At that point, I have to use that Delta Pokemon as a slot in my party. So, in the beginning, if I encounter a Delta Pokemon, I can only have a total number of 5 normal Pokemon in my party. When I get to the 6th Delta Pokemon, that Pokemon has to take up a space in that party, and I can no longer use any normal Pokemon for the rest of the playthrough. So even if I only caught 3 of the Delta Pokemon, I can no longer use any normal Pokemon for the rest of the playthrough, and I'll be stuck with those 3. Now there are only 14 in the game, so as you can imagine, this is going to be pretty difficult to go through. But I'm very excited for the playthrough, and I'm very excited to be doing this with you guys. So that being said, let's go ahead and jump on in. So, like I said, I have played through this game before, so it's going to be a little bit of a refresher because I didn't get very far and it has been a little bit of a while, but it's also going to be a lot of fun revisiting it. So, I definitely want to go ahead and play through the darker side of the story. I feel like most Pokemon games kind of get you through the lighter side. So, like I said, this game is set in the Tauran region, and this is kind of like a, an intro that's set about 1 year ago. And so this guy up on stage is basically telling you that, hey, the Augur, who was kind of like the champion of this region, has gone missing, and he's going to succeed him. I can't really skip through this, guys. I'm sorry, there's not really a way to speed it up, but it might give you some backstory if you haven't played this before. So, I haven't gotten very far in this game. Maybe it's an over-prediction, but I actually don't trust this guy. It might be a little evil ponytail he's got, but I think he might be behind the first Augur going away. So I'll click through this just as fast as I can. Rocking my USC water bottle, in case you forgot what channel this is. So, but I really like the animation for this game. It's very smooth, when he walks and everything, you actually see his arms and feet move, which is a little bit different. This is using kind of the almost Gen 4 graphics. And it's pretty advanced for Gen 4 graphics. It was in Pearl, Platinum, and Diamond. It wasn't very smooth. I mean, it still kind of looked a lot more like Gen 3. And so this one's just a very smooth game, and I like that a lot. Now, what's interesting is like the fonts and everything are from Gen 3, but the rest of the game looks like it's all Gen 4. So He's explaining about the augur and the cults, and here we are. This is where normally a professor would show up and ask you about Pokemon. Now, it's asking if I want to do a challenge run. I don't want to do their version of the lock. I want to kind of create my own. So we're not going to be doing what they would normally consider. So here's a mysterious voice. I have no idea who this is, actually. I never got very far, so I'm going to get to a point where I don't know any more about the game than you guys do. So that'll be fun. Definitely interesting. I'm learning a little bit and revisiting something, so definitely a cool kind of deal. Kind of like the first time I played Heart Gold and Soul Silver. So like I said before, my name is West, like the direction, and Kanye. So yes, I am pretty sure. But yeah, I do love, I'm a boy, and but I do love the first time I played Heart Gold and Soul Silver. It just was a great way to come back in. Now, I personally think I am probably definitely as pale as the guy in the middle, and I feel like that purple hair is closest to red I'm going to get in this game. So, alright, there's Gengar. I like the different cry they're putting in. I don't know if that's his normal cry or if that's a different one, but I like the fact they added that in. I like that. The sound mixing for this game is actually really good. It's all new. They all did it themselves, and I was actually really impressed with the sound mixing for this game. So it's saying Dream Eater is erasing all my memories. That would be a cool feature in the game, in the playthrough, if when you use Dream Eater, it like disabled a move, almost like the Pokemon forgot it. So when you put it to sleep, you know, it couldn't use that move rather than just doing damage. I think that would be a definitely cool feature, and would probably make it much more viable in competitive play. That would be a lot of fun. So here they are talking about the sacrifice they're going to go do. I'm excited for that. Now that is a good question they ask here, is why bother killing me if they're erasing my memories, or vice versa? Why bother erasing my memories if they're going to kill me? I wonder if there's something special in my memories that they need, or if Gengar is going to get for them, or something like that. Or maybe, I don't know, I can't die in this game? Well, I mean, I guess you can't die if you have to play this game, but maybe there's something to that, like there's something special about me. Which, I mean, obviously there is if you're the main character in a game, but there's got to be definitely something to that, and I'm kind of excited to find out. So our mysterious benefactor is telling me, and he tells me to follow Mew. Now what I don't get is why, if I'm supposed to follow Mew, I'm the one leading Mew around the facility. So, oh yeah, you need to get the DNA first. I forgot about that. Now what's interesting is it says it needs a fingerprint lock, and in my sociology class, when you pick, we talked about identical twins and how they have identical DNA, but their fingerprints would be different. So I think that's kind of interesting that when you pick up DNA in this game, you get the fingerprint of the person before, when that's not how it works. But, you know, it's a game being developed, so you're able to transform to people. I'm not really nitpicking over the exact science in a Pokemon game. So, here he is explaining Mew's transformability and how you can talk to it to transform into different things. So, and I do like that they chose in this game to include the feature of the Pokemon following you around. I feel like that was missed out in the 5th and 6th generations, especially in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. I mean, I know they kind of kept it with the remakes of Heart Gold and Soul Silver. You know, I understand them not wanting to put it in, you know, an actual mainstream game. You know, it was only in the Pokemon Yellow to begin with, when you could have the Pikachu follow you around. But I do wish they'd kept it in the remakes, you know, Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, which honestly were great games overall. But I do wish that they had included that again. I think it would have been a lot of fun. What's interesting to me about this is that Mew will transform you into different characters, but it won't transform itself. So you're still walking around with a Mew, so if someone was looking for you, it'd be pretty easy to find you, you'd think. But hey, I'm not complaining. It's definitely a cool feature, so I like it. Like it a lot, actually. And so the way they did the potions and items in this game, I do like a lot, where they're the actual items themselves. I wish it was like that in the main series Pokemon games that Nintendo released, because I feel like that's definitely a missing feature. You know, I understand in like Gen 1, Gen 2, you know, mechanics weren't that advanced, you know, you kind of had a lot of items looking the same, but I wish in the later series especially they'd gone back in and, you know, put the different items, but, you know, there's something to be said with keeping it the same. So I'll give them props. Nintendo's consistent, and I do love what they produce. So, speaking of Nintendo, I watched the Pokemon Go trailer today, and my mind was blown open. That looks awesome. The inner 4-year-old in me is like giggling. It's going crazy. I'm just so excited. I have told everyone I know about it. And what's funny is most of my friends don't play Pokemon, but everyone is excited for this. So I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm just stoked. I'm probably gonna end up getting the Pokemon Go Plus watch. I'm geeking out so hard. I love that stuff. I can't get enough. I mean, I'm about as into Pokemon as it gets. I love it. You know, I watch on YouTube. I play all the games. You know, I'm very into it, as you can tell. So it's got me going. The one thing I hope Nintendo does is I hope they don't include IV breeding and EV training. Because I don't want stats to be that big of a deal in this. I feel like I want it to be more like the anime, where, you know, you kind of have that personal bond between you and the Pokemon, and it, you know, a Pikachu can take on a Latios or something like that. So that's what I'm kind of hoping for in the Pokemon Go app. So I'm very excited to see what happens. I'll still love it even if it's super competitive. I kind of want it to be competitive so I can challenge random people on the street to battles, kind of like they do in the game, where maybe if someone like locks eyes with you, you know, you could immediately challenge them. My friend actually brought up a good point. He said what would be cool is if through the GPS function in your phone, if when you and another person both had the app open and one of your phones was pointed at theirs, you would automatically enter into a battle. I think that would be a really cool feature. So Nintendo, if you're watching this, you know, hook a brother up. I think that would just be really, really cool. So definitely a ton of great things I can do with it. It's an amazing concept. The fact that it's free is even better. I know there'll be in-app purchases, but overall, I'm just very excited. So let me talk to him. Okay, well, I guess she doesn't. Persephone, I think that's something to do with Greek mythology. I'm not entirely sure. If you know, feel free to let me know, but I honestly have no idea. I'm not great with Greek mythology outside of Percy Jackson. So that's basically my entire repertoire in terms of Greek mythology. Yeah, I'm a little bit nervous to see Darkrai, I gotta be honest. The legendary Pokemon are really cool, but I'm surprised no one's freaking out that a Mew is behind me. I feel like that's definitely a big deal to forget. But hey, whatever. Darkrai is awesome. Okay, so the simplest cult caught me. That's something cool to think about yourself, so awesome. Oh, cool. I hope I wasn't brothers with the guy that was sacrificed. That would suck. These guys are trying to concentrate. Oh, here we go. So I feel like when you sign up for anything labeled a cult and you say you're willing to die, you're basically saying, yeah, I'm probably going to die in this cult. I feel like that should have been known going in, but, you know. So that turned red. I wonder if it was his blood or something. And that, to me, looks like the Rayquaza symbol. I don't know why. It's not really from the Delta episode, but the markings on its back definitely look similar to the Rayquaza symbol that I imagined. What? That's cool. Alright, I like that. So, here's Darkrai, and I like how the game is darker when he's around, almost like he's, you know, sucked us into the dark void. I like that a lot. So, I wonder what happened with her and Darkrai, because she didn't say that, you know, you showed up and disappeared. She said that we did something incredible and then you disappeared. So I wonder what exactly went down on that day a year ago. Now, with Persephone saying her sister saw her a year ago, I don't remember how you got Darkrai in the main series games. I know it was through an event, but I don't remember what the event entailed. So, was there a girl involved with Darkrai? I wonder if that's what they're giving a shout out to, that, you know, he visits the girl in the Sinnoh region, or if that's just, you know, speculation, that's just part of the game mechanics. I don't know. I remember in Gen 5 there was a girl on the bridge that was a ghost that had something to do with Cresselia, but I don't know if that's how it was with Darkrai. And okay, so definitely a little different than the anime. You know, in the anime, Ash gets set on fire by Charizard all the time and nothing happens, but, you know, hey, Houndoom just killed 2 people, so cool beans there. I like they're sticking with the dark typing. That's kind of cool. It's just a little feature they threw in there, so definitely a big fan. Let's go ahead and get ourselves a burn heal. All right. That way, you know, if we ever get roasted, we're good to go. So, walking through this creepy place with Colt. I don't know what that green water is, but it's definitely very sketchy, and I don't want to step in that. I don't know if we're in a sewer right now, if that's what it is, or they just have random patches of green water lying around their evil base. Kind of sounds like a design flaw to me, but I'm no architect. What do I know? So walking down here, don't want to touch that green water, just it looks gross. There's some Darkrai statues up and through this door, and okay, we're out in the Shade Forest. Awesome. So hopefully they kept the day and night mechanics in this game, and it's not just nighttime right now, but I think I remember them putting in the different day-night mechanics. So I'll never understand why Gen 3 got rid of those. You know, they're a big deal in Gen 2, and then in Gen 3 they were just not there. And so I don't know why that was. I mean, they put them back in for the Gen 3 remakes because they had to. So I don't know why they got rid of them. And here we get the Quartz Flute, which will help us summon Mew whenever we need to. Okay, so my benefactor gave me that. I wish they'd explained to me who I was. You know, didn't just leave me hanging, but, you know, whatever. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie to this guy. Yeah, I just saw it. Aw, this guy is so humble. I like him. He's so nice. Well, thank you. I did come at the perfect time. This guy is so cool. Yeah, I know who the Augur is. Okay. So, Pokemon games move really fast because this guy just met me and he's immediately asking me to help out with his chores. I feel like that's a little ridiculous. Let's talk to this guy and see what he has to say. Okay, so here's the Pokemon. So they'll probably give me some potions if I had to guess, which would be kind of nice. I mean, definitely gonna need those in any sort of lock. Definitely helpful. Oh, so Pokeballs. Okay, so as soon as we get a Pokemon, the lock will have already started. Awesome. So that'll be a lot of fun. Don't need to heal anything, I don't think. Oh, so this is gonna be like in Gen 6 where you can customize yourself. So I'm guessing that's the Pokemon Center. And maybe downstairs is where you get clothes. Let me see. Talk to her real quick. Okay, yep, so this is where you get clothes. That'll be a lot of fun to outfit myself. I'll probably do that in between installments and change my look every once in a while, you know. Make myself look more fitting. Maybe I can get a cool Matchbox 20 shirt, I don't know. That'd be kind of cool. So there's the name rater right there, so I can go ahead and change names if I ever want to. And the move deleter, okay. That'll be kind of nice if we ever need, you know, forget an HM move. So, excuse me, that'll be kind of cool. I'm very excited for that. So let's look around the town real quick and talk to her. Excuse me. Whew. Okay, so Kyogre exists in this. That's kind of cool to know. I was always a big Sapphire fan, so Kyogre holds a special place in my heart. That was the one I mean, I always had Sapphire. Bought Alpha Sapphire, so, you know, definitely a big Kyogre supporter. I do wish that they had given Kyogre a second typing like they did Groudon. I think Ice would have been just a great typing for him to have. That mono water is great defensively speaking, but I feel like that ice typing would have given him a better offensive type deal, because, you know, right now every time he switches into the Primal Groudon, the Desolate Land always outdoes Primordial Sea because Groudon's slower. So he can't really hit Groudon with anything. So I would definitely like if that secondary ice typing would at least hit him for neutral damage, and definitely pack a punch. So looks like a starter Pokemon is an Eevee. And that definitely looks like foreshadowing for something with the Eevee, so I'm guessing you're not supposed to evolve it immediately. You're supposed to kind of let it happen and stay, and then see what happens from there. Okay, cool, so some free potions. Those will definitely come in handy. I'll probably want to stock up on more of those, actually, before I leave this town and once I get my first Pokemon. Because those are definitely very important to have whenever you're playing in lock, because the worst thing that can happen is one of your Pokemon faints while you're just running around. That would be be pretty terrible, especially considering we've only got a possible eventually got a possible 14 members of our party, so that's going to be definitely an issue. Okay, so I never actually got to a gym when I was playing through, so that will be kind of cool, where they're going to be themed rather than monotype. So that forest theme is going to be difficult, and so this looks to me like a professor's lab, and so I definitely want to go ahead. Yep, it sounds like that's what he's telling me, so I definitely want to go ahead and look in here and see what is going on. This is definitely a lab, so let's talk to this person right here, Professor Sylvan. Okay. I'm surprised it's not named after a tree. I mean, most of them have been named after a tree. I think all of them, maybe? Unless Gen 6 wasn't X and Y. I don't know. Don't hold me to that one. But I am definitely surprised. Okay, so can't get a Pokemon right now. So I'm guessing I need to go find Damien. I thought I checked everywhere for the town hall, but I'll go ahead and look through. Okay, went in there. Went in there. Okay, I didn't see this building. So this is probably the town hall. And so, yep, I'm going to talk to these guys first, though, and see what they have to say. Okay, never mind, I'm not going to. So, I'll just go talk to Damien and see what's going on. And so, okay. So he just met... Did he just say he just met us outside? I was a little confused with the wording there, but I'm assuming he just met me. He sounds like he knows them. And this dude forgot his gift. Awesome. So I was supposed to help him out with his chores, but apparently we didn't remind him to get a gift for the augur. So okay, and here's where we get our Pokemon. So this storyline kind of reminds me a little bit of Wally from Gen 3, where his parents were like, no, he's not ready. And you kind of have to prove to him that, yeah, he's emotionally ready. So, yes, my name is West. I have handled a Pokemon before. They're going to lend one. Absolutely be willing to help him out. No problem. Okay, cool. Wow. She's very hateful. This game kind of escalated really quickly with that line about her not being his mom. That was a little heavy, but this is a darker storyline, so I guess trying to make it a little more realistic. Which is strange for a Pokemon game, but, you know, hey. If it works, it works. I'm cool with it, so... Not here to question, just here to enjoy. So we're going to go exit and head back down to the Pokemon lab, and hopefully get our first Pokemon, which I'm guessing will be an no. Okay. I remember now. Sorry, not to spoil it. Walking in here very, very slowly, which is weird. Damien's joining us from behind, even though he left before. We must be very fast people. So... okay. So here he is talking about how he doesn't want these Pokemon to die, but he's done terrible things. So I wonder if Pokemon are more revered than people in this game, kind of like they, I don't know, kind of like a real life type situation, where cults worship Pokemon rather than people, and people are kind of considered, you know, average. Pokemon are kind of considered a step above. I don't know how it works, so definitely something cool to think about and see what happens. And so here is a table with 3 choices, like we're used to seeing. So cool, can't wait to see what everything is. Yes, we are in need of a Pokemon. Okay, so he is a cult leader, Perfection, which is kind of weird because we're talking about how these Pokemon are freaks, and I think these are the first Delta Pokemon you encounter. Yeah, they are. So it is kind of strange that in the Cult of Perfection, they would be looking at how to make imperfect Pokemon. Or maybe they think Delta species are more perfect Pokemon, I don't know. Although an Electric-type Dragonite, I would think, would not be as good as a Dragon and Ice type. So, these are experiments of Bulbasaur, Charmander, and Squirtle. And so, those are the ones we'll choose from, and they do offer an Eevee for you to take. Although I don't know anyone playing this game that would take an Eevee. We actually can't. This is going to be the first Delta Pokemon encounter for us in the game, and so that means we have to take one of these Delta Pokemon, and that means already one of our slots is taken up. So we can only have a possibility of 5 normal Pokemon in this playthrough. So the first is the Fairy and Psychic type Delta Bulbasaur, which would definitely be a good option. It's got great typing. That Gardevoir typing really comes in handy. And then the Ghost and Dragon Delta Charmander that is a skeleton on fire. So definitely a good option. And then there is the Dark and Fighting Squirtle that looks like a Ninja Turtle. That is one of the coolest designs. I love the blue belt around it. Just a wonderful choice. And while my first Pokemon I ever picked was always Bulbasaur, I gotta say, the skeleton on fire Charmander, I gotta go for it. I don't know how I couldn't. I would like to nickname the Charmander, and so what I want to name it, since it's a dragon and ghost type, is just a simple mixture of the two. So let's go ahead and name it Drost the Charizard, and see what happens from there. So definitely very excited. This is going to be just a great Pokemon to choose. Ghost and Dragon typing, definitely the Giratina typing, love it a lot. Hyper offensive, I love it. Charizard X all the way over Y. I know it's not as competitively viable, but I do love Megazord X. It was everything I ever wanted, and so we start out actually with a Dragon-type move. Although one thing I do want to go ahead and do is lower his attack, because while we do have those potions, I am worried. See, he's already got a Dark-type Stab, and I'm worried that might take us out. So let me go ahead and lower his attack pretty far, which is important to kind of play smart in these lock-type playthroughs. So I'll go ahead and heal up real quick. Make sure we're going to go ahead and be good to go. I do like that we're already a couple levels ahead. I feel like that definitely evens it out, especially considering they're giving us stab moves right off the bat. So glad to see that we've got, you know, at least a little bit of an advantage to make it a little more even. That is doing a ton of damage at -2. So let me go ahead and heal up again, and then after that we should be good to go ahead and just take him down. I think this is definitely going to be a 3-hit KO. The one thing I will say is I feel like Delta Bulbasaur definitely has just type advantage over both Pokemon with that fairy typing. You know, it's super effective against that. Didn't say it was a crit, but that looks like crit damage. So this Twister should take him out, and we see it does. So we have won our first battle. It's going to get 75 experience, which is pretty high, and so that's going to do a good bit. Doesn't level us up, but hey, we're already level 7, so not bad at all. Oh, that did do a lot of damage. That was really kind of unbalanced there in the beginning. This lock is going to be very difficult, I think. It's going to be a very hard game. Going to be a lot of fun, just definitely difficult. So, going to have to really do some grinding, probably off screen, just because it's going to be a ton to do. So, here we go. We got our Pokemon Index. It is a Pokemon Index. Definitely very excited to fill up the Pokedex. I probably won't be able to because we're only doing Delta Pokemon, but it's going to be just a lot of fun to go through and do. So, here we are. We've got our Pokedex and we're about to go on our adventure. I feel like this is definitely a good place to stop for today. So, thank you guys for watching. Hope you had a really good time and I hope to see you around sometime.